Hey guys, this is Mafra with episode 3 of my series, It's a Mod's Life. In the first episode, I gave you a quick tour of play.skyblocker.com. This is the server that we're all on. If you're not already on play.skyblocker.com, come and join us. In our second episode, we went over the different types of mods, the different powers they have, and in fact, I'll just do a quick recap right here. So here's our ever-changing list of staff on the server right now. And we also covered a few of the rules, things that to do and not to do on the server, and we talked about what the different levels of mod, such as mod versus mod plus, the different levels of powers and permissions that they have. So in this episode, we're going to talk about how do you become a mod, and I'm going to talk a little bit about things not to do. Let's start with the no-nos, and first and foremost, take a quick peek at these rules. So that's going to be a no-no, don't break the rules. And then we're going to talk about things that you should do in order to help yourself to be seen as mod material. And then third, I'm going to share my own story of how those applied to me and what my journey was starting off as a player just like anyone else and becoming a moderator on the server. So that's my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So to start off with, things you shouldn't do. Probably the biggest no-no is asking for rank. So here's an example of something that I see every once in a while. I see something like, let's say, me elite, me mod. Now, there's a number of problems with this, and someone will send a message like that, and they think they're being cute or something, and they're asking for mod rank. And here's the problems with this. First off, a moderator is a position of power. And most people that want power are the very types of people that probably shouldn't be given that power. So the best mod is a reluctant mod, in my opinion. Someone who has the ability to be a moderator, but isn't actually going out and seeking it. And I think that's probably an opinion that a lot of server admins and owners share. Now, the second thing about this little bit down here is it says me elite, me mod. First off, they're not really using inclusive language. And what do I mean by that? Well, inclusive language is language that everyone can understand. Instead, they're trying to stand out by using a special word here like leet, and they're trying to be even more cute by using me instead of I. So instead of saying, I'm awesome, can I be a mod? They're like, me leet, me mod. So it's really important that moderators can communicate well with people, and especially be able to type, because that's how we mostly communicate with players. So showing that you have reasonable typing skills, reasonable communication skills, all those are important things. Now, a new player that's just come to the server, like the one that I mentioned right there, who just says me elite, me mod, probably doesn't know any of this stuff. Here's something else that I see every once in a while. Hi, I'm new. Can I be a mod? Now, it's not a bad thing, I suppose, to introduce yourself and to talk about your ambitions on the server, that someday you'd like to be a moderator. Okay, I get that. But it's really not appropriate to ask to be a mod at all, and especially not if you're brand new to the server, because I'll also see how do I get started and can I be a mod? Okay, this right here is a perfect sign of someone I would never ever want to see as a moderator. And the reason I wouldn't want them to see them as a moderator is because they don't even know how to get started. Now, when they first join the server, they're going to join the server in the middle of this spawn here, and all around them says portals this way, SkyShop this way, info this way. Well, here's information, big info sign here, and if they were to just take a moment to cruise around here, they'd see, oh, to start a Skyblock, type is-create, and they would learn how to do this. Hey, Beastie. Beastie is actually a great example of a player who is doing lots and lots of the right things in order to be seen favorably as a mod. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But going back to the things not to do is don't come on and have no answers and not know even how to get answers and then be asked to become a mod. Because a lot of what a mod does is to answer these questions for other people. And how can you help others if you cannot help yourself? So go ahead and familiarize yourself with the commands on a server, with the goals on a server, with the areas on a server. Understand, and show off your skills. So here's an example. Here I'm talking about good typing skills, and I can't even type hi. I'd like to show off some of our moderator islands just because they really show off the kind of people that make good good mods. And here's Beastie correctly pointing out that I failed. Thanks, Beastie. So this is Master Hero Brave. Master Hero Brave is one of our mods, and his island is fantastic. Check out this huge castle. Master Hero Brave has expresses his creativity in terms of strength and building these huge things of strength. Look at all these heads he's got showing all of his kills and things like that. He clearly knows how to place blocks and break blocks. Now check out this funky tree he's built. It's huge, and if we go to the top, you'll see something even cooler. Look at all this redstone, and it definitely does work. Master Hero Brave knows his redstone. So as a mod, when someone comes and says, hey, can somebody help me out with this thing of redstone, I know that Master Hero Brave has got that down pat, and he can definitely help there. There's more advanced things in the game, for example, villagers, which are, I guess, somewhat more advanced. Here's a design that Master Hero Brave has been working on for a while. It's pretty cool. This is a villager spawner that he's come up with. I think it's probably his own design. And it's pretty cool here. He's got every villager exactly where he wants them to be, and it's just another sign of awesomeness. So well done, Master Hero Brave. This is the kind of stuff that when we want to know whether someone knows how to play the game, we can very clearly see, yes, check that out. That's awesome. Flaming towers. So that's Master Hero Brave's island. I'm going to pop over to another one of our mods, Timinated. Timinated is our mod plus. He's a game mod. And as you can see immediately that Tim has great familiarity with building. Looks like he's still building his upper level here, but he's got all sorts of things going on. And I would love to show off what's inside Tim's super secret lava box. But he knows how to use the materials to create a secure portal that no one can get into. Unless you come to my island, I sell potions of fire resistance. Yeah, so anyway, just so people know, I do sell potions of fire resistance. Anyway, very, very cool, exciting stuff inside there, but I can't show it to you. Tim would get mad at me. And here's another example of someone who knows how to play the game, and someone who can build something like this can certainly help others with answering their questions, which again is a huge part of what mods do. Here's a massive cactus farm that Tim has built with a nice little viewing window, so you can kind of see what's going on here. And it goes all the way up. I know it does. So let's check out another island right here. And this is Repeat's island. Pete is... uh-oh, what's going on here? I fell through the floor. Nice. I'm glad, Pete, that you built something underneath here to catch my fall. Otherwise, we're going to have to try to make it back to spawn. So just looking underneath Pete's island, first off, we got the redstone. Pete knows the redstone. And up top, check this out, pixel art. Now, Pete has built this really, really cool island. He's got all sorts of things, various touches, and a massive statue to himself. It's lovely, Pete. You did a great job. Now, I don't know what this thing over here is. This is, I personally find, just atrocious. And I'm saying that because this is a statue of Timinated. And nothing against you, Pete, but, you know, it's the material you're working with. It's very limited, and, well, I guess we'll have to live with it. But anyway, the rest of the island is fantastic. Now, Pete has lots and lots of skills, but he told me here that he was looking to get the red, white, and blue of the American flag. And that's one thing probably that Pete might need to work on a little bit is the knowledge of flags. I'm pretty sure that's the French flag, or pretty close to it. It's kind of a reverse image of the French flag. Anyway, I'm just playing with you, Pete. Love you. So very, very cool island. Oh, and speaking of this, I want to show off this. I hope, Pete, you don't mind. I'm going to show off something that's brand new on your island. So this is Pete's newest creation he showed me just the other day, and I'm just going to walk in here. And looks, well, what is all this? Nothing's, whoa, what's happening? Wow, look at all this. So we just found that this is Pete's vault, where he's got tons and tons and tons of stuff. And very, very exciting. And very cool, Pete. Nice use of redstone. So I'm going to take off here, and lastly, I'll just show off my own island. I'm a moderator, and I've got, clearly I know how to build beacons and all sorts of cool stuff, and I'm known for having way too much redstone, such that my island actually lags quite a bit from all the redstone. And here's my cool little beacon super pyramid that I built fairly recently, so I'm proud of it, and all that kind of good stuff. So this is what a mod should be able to do, because if you're going to be able to answer questions for people who are trying to play this crazy game of ours, then you need to know the answers to those. And the best way to demonstrate that you know the answers is by building your own cool island. So that talks about the kind of things that you should do. And heading back over here, we've talked a little bit about what not to do. So again, I want to just revisit very quickly server rules. Follow the rules. Don't break the rules. And especially be respectful. Especially don't ask for rank. That's just not a good thing to do. And you need to know all the different commands, at least most of them, so you can help other players. Now, let's talk about how I became a... sure. Give me a moment. I need to type. Let me talk about how I became a mod. So I joined this server on February 15th, 2014. That's about a little more than 5 months ago. Right now, as I'm recording this, it happens to be July 26, 2014. So when I first joined this server, I joined just like anybody else. I was just a regular player, and I played on the server for about a week. And at the end of a week, I was asked by Dubstep Clown if I wanted to become a chat mod and help moderate chat and make sure that it was clean and all that kind of stuff. Now, why was I asked that? Well, there's a couple things, and let's see if I'll just pop over here and show you one of those things. So when I joined the server, I started playing from an economic perspective, and I wanted other players to be successful economically so they could buy the stuff that I was offering to sell. So I wrote this little guide, Mafro's Guide to Challenges, Gold, and Skycoin. And I said, welcome to the SkyBlocker server. So you want cool stuff, gold, diamonds, and enchanting table? This guide is for you. And it goes through basically the how to make money on the server. And it was also, frankly, a little bit of a plug for some of the things that I was offering. Like I had colored wool that I sold people that was valuable. And it was, useful and helpful. And I made copies of that and just handed it out to whoever wanted them. And I think that was one of the reasons why I was seen as supporting the growth of the server by helping players to have fun and to experience the economy of the server and to be welcomed onto the server, all that sort of a thing. Now, the other thing is a story I'm going to tell you right now, which I don't think I've ever told anyone else. So this is going to be, I don't think anyone else, maybe other than Dubstep Clown, knows this story. But this is really part of the reason why I was made a mod. Dubstep told me this, in fact. So when I first got on, I was making friends with players on the server, and there were a couple players. I'm just going to call them F and N. I'm going to leave them anonymous. And F was a bit of a cantankerous player. He liked to cause a little bit of trouble. And N was a really nice guy, but had a bit of a temper problem. And these two would quarrel every once in a while, and eventually their quarreling got to be annoying to Dubstep Clown, and so he asked them to both knock it off, or else they would be muted, and they did so. And what happened was that F contacted me with a private message like this. He messaged Mafrowific and said, hey, I'm going to go to bed, but I'm going to get muted first. And I didn't really understand what that was all about, but he thought that was funny. Ha ha ha, and I just smiled back at him, I think. And what he did is he started picking a fight with N. And sure enough, N being a short-tempered guy, he responded back. The two were quarreling, and so both of them got muted for, I think, a few hours or something like that because they were arguing. And Dub had previously said, please no arguing. And, of course, at that point, F, who had kind of baited N into arguing with him, he logged off the server because he was done playing for the day anyway. And so my buddy N now was muted, and he still wanted to play, but he was muted. And so I thought that was kind of unfair. I thought that was kind of a mean thing for F to have done. So I reached out to Dubstep Clown, and I said, hey, just so you know, N was baited into arguing with F. And Dub responded back and said, do you have proof? And I said, well, let me see. And I scrolled up in my my list of messages, and there, sure enough, it was still there. And so I hit F2, which took a screen capture of the of my message log, and I said, yeah, I do. And he said, send it to me. So I did. I sent it to him, and so he saw that really N. And now my goal here was for N, who again had a kind of a short temper and had been baited into arguing when he shouldn't have. My goal was for him not to be punished because I didn't feel like it was really his fault. This guy was calling him names and really just egging him on. And of course he responded to that. And but what Dub actually ended up doing was he ended up extending the mute on F, who had started all this, to I think several days. And so F was punished fairly severely for causing trouble. And that wasn't my intent, but that's what ended up happening. And it wasn't too long thereafter that Dub reached out to me and said, hey, it seems like you actually care about the server and the players on the server. Would you like to be a chat mod? And I said, well, I've never been a chat mod before, but I'm happy to try. And he said, okay. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the onboarding process. This is some super secret stuff. So I was sent a little text file that had chat mod rules. And it just had all the rules on the server and how a chat mod should act. And I was invited to be part of the off-server communication method that the staff uses. Now, some of you may know this, but I bet a lot of you don't. But all of the staff have the ability to communicate with each other even when we're not on the server. And so we use this all the time to send interesting information back and forth to each other about things that are happening on the server, maybe if there's bugs that people have found, that sort of thing. But also if there are players that are causing trouble, we let the other staff know. So it's not like we act as individuals, but we act as part of a team that is working together to hopefully make the server a great place to play. So I learned that as well. So that's my story as to how I became a chat mod. Now I was invited to become a chat mod approximately 1 week after I joined the server. It didn't take long at all. And it just so happened that the server was new and growing, and it needed more moderators. And it just so happened that Dub felt that I might be a good chat mod. And I was brought on. Oh, and I should also mention that I was brought on as a trial. So if it wasn't going to work out, I knew that I would be, brought back down from mod to being a regular player if things didn't work out. And that's probably the right way to bring a moderator on, is to bring him on as a trial. So anyway, 10 days after I was made a chat mod, then Dub approached me and said, hey, you're a good chat mod. Would you like to become a game mod? And I said the same thing I said the first time. Well, I've never been a game mod, but I'm happy to try. And so he said, okay, here's the commands. And I went over all those commands in the last episode. And sure enough, I became a chat mod, a game mod, and had lots of fun with that. And it was about 2.5 months after that Dub came to me and asked if I would like the red admin prefix, which is what I have right now. If I do a list, you can see that that I have admin now, admin maforific. So that is my story. And I really credit the fact that I was helping new players to be comfortable. And if think about it, so anyone that takes the time and effort and money to put together a Minecraft server like Dubstep Clown has done, they're doing it not just for themselves, they're doing it to hopefully attract other people to play on the server and for everybody to have a good time together. And so if that's the owner's goal, you really want to support the owner in achieving that goal. And so that's what I feel like I did. And because I was doing that, Dubstep Clown saw that as the owner and was willing to make me a moderator and to give me more ability to help the server to be successful, and that's what I've tried to do since then. So we've talked about the 3 things that I wanted to cover. We talked about the things, if you want to become a mod, the things not to do, and big no-no is asking for rank. Instead, you should just behave the way that a moderator should behave. That doesn't mean that you should pretend you're a mod and start telling people what to do and what not to do, but you should be respectful of others. You should follow these rules. You should be helpful to other players, and the best way to do that is by knowing the rules and helping other players. And I mentioned Beastie early on. I want to give a shout out right now to Beastie Boy 873. Beastie, you're fantastic. He does this every single time he's on, always reaching out to new players and helping them out to start off their own islands, teaching them how to build a cobble generator like the example we see right here, and all sorts of things. So you're fantastic, that Beastie. Thank you. You're an asset to the server. So and then we talked about lastly my own story and how I became a mod. So hopefully now you've got an idea about what you should and shouldn't do to if you'd like to become a mod. And I think we'll go ahead and finish this series right here. Now, I've had fun doing this, and I could certainly do more episodes about what it's like to be a mod, but what I'd really like to do is I'd like to showcase some of the other islands out there. In fact, I'm going to take a moment, just because I didn't do this, is to show off Dubstep's island. Now Dub has his islands are always changing. He's always very, very creative in what he builds. And now he's got what appears to be the server's biggest nether portals. Yay, flying through those. And looks like he's got a little spawner and all sorts of other things. So now we've seen the islands for all the staff on this server. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with an island showcase series where I go to some of the coolest islands on this server and just explore them and, if possible, interview their creators. So yeah, that's it for this episode of It's a Mod's Life. Thanks so much for hanging out here. And I think this will probably do it for the series as well. It'll just be a 3-part series. We'll keep it short. And I'll move on to island showcases from here on. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. Appreciate it. Hope to see you on play.skyblocker.com. Bye-bye.